Aloha, everyone. It's Lady, your friendly neighborhood Hesher, and welcome to the Hesh Files, a place where I interview musicians about all of the strange and unusual things that they see out on the road. So strap on your best high tops, ease the seat back, and get ready to be a metaphorical fly on the wall because we're going heshing. Aloha, everyone, and welcome back to the Hesh Files. My sincerest apologies for my absence as of late. Life has become quite lifey, if you know what I mean. Anyways, the Hesh Files is back, and for this episode, we're heading back to the city that raised me. I'd like to introduce you to an old friend of mine and fellow bassist, Adrien Contreras from the legendary doom sludge metal band out of Sacramento, Willhaven. Welcome to the Hesh Files, my dude.
Thank you for having me, my friend, and I'll take half credit for the delay in there. We've been trying to make this happen for a minute, so I appreciate you. You work with me to finally get it pinned down, man. It's good to see you. Good to chat again.
Of course, man. It has been far too long, and I mean, we definitely got to do it again. Next time I'm back up in Sac visiting the family, I got to hit up the Willhaven guys.
Oh, dude, you know right where to find us. Open door always. We were neighbors for long enough. You're always there. You got the key. Welcome yourself in.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you. Actually, on that note, kind of a funny thing. Are you guys still at that old warehouse?
We're still there. Yeah, dude. We built that thing out
Nice.
now to the point. Oh, dude, we can't leave it now. We put so much elbow grease into making that like the fantasy factory of Willhaven that we've got to
Oh
do
my
that we've got like
God.
even since when you were there, like it's continued to expand and blossom as a flower. Yeah, we're there. You know right where to find us, dude.
Fuck yeah. Like that's literally down the street from my parents' house.
Oh no
Uh,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
funny.
how I found the warehouse. So actually, quick fun little factoid here. Many years ago, I got off a tour and I wasn't planning on sticking around in Sacramento for very long, and I just needed somewhere to crash. So, the band and we decided to move into a warehouse of all places. And, I lived there myself for 2 whole years in that warehouse, and that was where I met you guys. So, I mean, that's just crazy that feels like for me such a lifetime ago, and you guys are still there. Oh my God, that's awesome. I can't imagine
Yeah.
what it looks like right now.
The same, you'd recognize it. I mean, the neighbors in between change, but it still feels and looks the same. And it's funny, like you kind of reflect on things like that. And like there are periods where very much like when you talk about that feeling a lifetime ago, like there are periods I think in everyone's life where it's like, God, it was this lifetime, it was that lifetime.
Yeah.
And for us, like, and for just like, I mean, with bands and things, like I feel like that's one kind of thread that stays common in a lot of people's lives that are in bands where like things change, relationships change, where you live might change, whatever. But that kind of common thread with music kind of ties them all together. So that being a lifetime to you, like that's very much us. You'd walk in and it
Yeah.
would feel like the last time you stepped in there, man, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I can't
Give
wait.
us a shout. I know you're gonna pop up for holidays or something, man. You need to pop in, say what's up, listen to some of the new stuff. Like you gotta make an appearance, man.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'll definitely do that. Actually, speaking of kind of the new stuff, Will Haven just hit their 30-year anniversary earlier this year. What is all that like? I mean, reflecting on 30 years of Will Haven and that thorough thread, that you're Will Haven. I mean, that's longer than your career in the state parks.
Yeah, man. That's longer than the entire lives of a lot of the folks that come out to Willhaven shows. So it's kind of wild that it's been 30 years. So, and it's funny for me. I mean, talk about kind of the lifetimes thing. So there was an original bassist, Mike Martin, that was in Willhaven. So the first Willhaven album came out in '97. Obviously, they were playing shows before that, but that was how I first got like to know the Willhaven dudes. Was just in the Sacramento music scene.
Yeah.
So the Willhaven lifetime for me started by going and seeing these dudes that were just like these dark demonic figures. Like they were just like it's funny back when I got to know them, like they didn't talk to people. They were just like they would go play shows and they'd split. They were just like this
Nice.
phantom that would show up and it was always like the mystique of Willhaven. I got to know the dudes, like they became friends, and then in like 2008 ish, something like that. Mike, the original bassist, moved to Texas, and that was when I first started playing with those dudes. And it was actually like Willhaven kind of got paused. So Mike moved. At that point, Grady hit pause, and Jeff Jaworski, a friend of ours, was doing vocals. And then Willhaven hit pause for a minute to where I was playing with the Willhaven dudes, and we were doing just like some other stuff. It wasn't like a band that went anywhere. We had two different projects we kind of worked on. They kind of came and went. We were just jamming, and then Willhaven came back to life. And the first album that I was with them on was Vardir, which came out in 2011, I want to say, which is kind of nuts. I mean, even that was 14, 15 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so it's like been kind of a continuous thing since then. So, I mean, it's 30 years like where I got to experience Willhaven as a fan and get to love them as a band, and then like joining up with them, playing
Fuck
music,
yeah.
touring the world, like doing like a bunch of stuff that I never would have imagined doing and seeing, and just like, I mean, making all these like amazing friends that I'll have, I mean, for a lifetime. So it's amazing, and like to see the impression that Willhaven has made, I mean, around the world is one of the things that like blows my mind. You go to countries where you don't
Like
speak the same language,
Japan
I mean,
and
people, yeah, dude, everywhere where you couldn't speak to the locals, but they're singing along with every lyric of every song. Like
damn.
it's nuts, dude. And it's like music has evolved so much since then. Just like the world is so much different than it was in '97 when El Diablo came out. It's like how you consume music, how you tour, how you do everything is just
Right,
so
right.
different. So it's nuts, man. It's a wild ride, but it's cool that music is one of those things that kind of lives forever. Like El Diablo is approaching 30 years old on its own, is like the first Willhaven release, and it's still
Yeah.
out there, and it's still like often Willhaven's like a lot of folks' favorite album. So it's cool, man.
Yeah, no, I mean that's fucking awesome. I mean, and speaking of, touring, around the world and seeing that stuff like that. So you guys just played Copenhagen this summer.
We should have played Copenhagen.
What?
Dude, heartbreaker there. Yeah, unfortunately, we did not get to make the trek. So yeah, we were
Oh,
booked. Dude, we had a rad slot. This is one that this will live on. There's a couple of bummers as far as touring goes, that of things that just like did not end up happening. So
well,
Copenhagen, unfortunately, we weren't able to make it happen, dude. It's like this is one thing that like a lot of touring bands are experiencing, is just like the cost of travel
hmm.
and logistics, renting gear, all of it is so expensive now that like unless you can go and link together like a couple of months of tours, like it's really hard to make the finances pencil out for touring. So we were trying to make that one work, and it was like Copenhagen was the foundation for what was supposed to be a longer tour, and unfortunately just the cost of everything just made it to where it just was not feasible. I mean, even the last European tour we did, we played, I think it was like two or three shows in England, and then we went over and did the rest in Europe. And there's a new, I think they call it like a carnet fee that you have to pay to play in England, where
Okay.
they charge you basically a tax on all of your merchandise and everything. It makes it
What?
really expensive to play in England in particular. It's crazy now. So it's tough, man. Like there's a lot of the finances around touring have changed. I think that's why you're seeing a lot fewer bands that are like
Yeah.
mid-level and just like they can't make it work. I remember seeing a clip that that band Garbage, they're on tour now. They were basically kind of saying the same thing,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like for touring bands, it's really hard to make it work right now. So it's tough sledding. And yeah, sadly, Copenhagen, we weren't able to make it. That's one of the bucket list festivals I would love to get back to at some point.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. Forgive me for slacking on my research and not,
I
seeing
don't
that you guys
know.
had missed that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that kind of brings up a whole slew of other things in the sense that like it would almost be fun to kind of like do like maybe not necessarily like an expose, but just kind of like an investigation into exactly what that ridiculous level of financial stress looks like for those bands, to like really explain to the fans even like this is why you're not seeing your favorite bands that used to tour all the time, like this is why they would have to charge you $1,000 for a ticket. And who's going to pay that, and what self-respecting band is going to charge that for your show, unless you're Taylor Swift, who's not really a self-respecting artist. But anyways, that's a whole nother thing for another day. But
Yeah, 100%, man. Like the economy of touring just makes it really challenging. Which I mean, this is one advantage that the East Coast has, and I think this is why you see a lot of like hardcore bands, metal bands that like are not that level where like Deftones are going to sell out arenas. They can go wherever they want, no big
yeah.
deal. It's still a lot more expensive for them to do it now than what it was, but like Converge, like that level of metal or hardcore band, like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of those, you'll see them stick to the East Coast because you can go. DC, New York, Baltimore, Boston, like all of these, they're
Yeah.
like really tightly clustered to where like even the gas to get from LA to Seattle, like dude, it's crazy expensive now. So like you can go LA, San Francisco, Portland, Seattle. It's still only 4 shows, and you have these long ass drives in between. So
Yeah.
gas, your rental van, equipment. If you have a crew, you're paying. Like it's tough, man.
Yeah,
It's
that gets up
rough.
there. And yeah, like you said, that's one particular thing that's different about, the East Coast versus the West Coast, even versus, the UK even. I mean, the
Yeah,
UK is very well clustered together kind of a thing. And,
sure.
travel is easier around there with, their metros and stuff. Even on the East Coast of the United States, I mean, everything is so, like you said, clustered together where it's less distance gas wise to do it over there than it is to try and do a West Coast tour.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And it's West Coast. I mean, and it's funny, like West Coast is basically like you can kind of throw in Denver and there's some like along the margins, but realistically, West Coast is essentially like LA, maybe San Diego, San Francisco, maybe Sacramento, and then it's basically like Portland, Seattle. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you
I mean,
get north of Sacramento, you're going to Portland.
yeah, and it's wide open in between. There is no stop. Like no one's going to stop in Medford. As much as
Right.
Medford love it, it's just it doesn't make sense to do it. There's just not a big enough population. So advantage East Coast, and then yeah, UK same thing, and then Europe. I mean, that's one of the rad things about touring Europe is they have these huge cities, and it's like not only huge cities that are close together, but you're bouncing from city to city, but country to country. Like you're going to go, all
Yeah.
right, I'm going to play a show in France, and tomorrow we're going to wake up in Italy, and then we're going to wake up in Germany, and then we're going to wake up. I mean, it's a otherworldly but rad. I mean, it's I think Europe is my favorite place to tour for sure because it's also like you're going country to country, not just city to city.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, especially too, I mean, I haven't ever myself toured across the pond like that extensively or at all. But, I mean, just in America, I mean, dude, it takes 3 fucking days to drive through Texas.
Right.
And you're still in
Yeah.
Texas and you might have 2 shows because there's
Right.
nothing out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I could just see from, a logistic standpoint, even just a touring and fun standpoint that, yeah, finding those clusters is the way to do it, whether it's, the upper East Coast of the United States or over in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, like if you pay attention to, like, especially not now, a lot of the kind of more recent tours, like a lot of bands that are small to mid, like they stick to East Coast. You don't see them come over to the West because, I mean, like you said, I mean, I talk about the West Coast, but realistically, like getting from East Coast to the West Coast, like you're driving through a lot of very sparsely populated areas. It's
Yeah.
funny. It's one thing I hear from a lot of friends and people that come over and travel the US. It's like, man, I didn't realize until I got here, but the US is fucking big. Like you got to
Yeah.
drive hours to get across. Even a flight it's going to take forever versus you go to Europe and you take an hour flight and you can be, I mean, anywhere in Europe. It's also tightly clustered, but US is big, man. We take it for granted, but it's huge.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is huge. I mean, the journey from the East Coast to the West Coast. I mean, once you try to go west of the Mississippi, you've got a couple of days of driving where there's fucking nothing.
That's right.
Like just
Nothing
fucking nothing.
big, flat, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nuts, man.
Oh
And that's, I
man.
mean, I think like, woe is me for like, I mean, West Coast being tough, but could you imagine living in the Midwest? Like, you're not going to get any tours coming through. I mean, music fans that are kind of in the plains states, like, God, you're charmed if you get a tour or two coming through because no one's stopping.
Yeah. No one's going through large swaths of the country.
Yeah.
And again, just because it's just logistically and financially not worth it.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, I
Hopefully
hope,
someday.
yeah, I wish there was better infrastructure for that to happen, but
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Someday, dare to dream. In the
yeah.
meantime, feel free to fly out to Boston to come see us.
Oh, fuck. I love Boston. Well, anyways, back to, so when we were talking about Copenhagen a minute ago, you were saying that was one of, several bummer tours that you guys missed out on. I felt like that was an interesting thing. Like what are some other bummer tours that just didn't happen? What were some shows that
Oh,
you wanted to play, but just got fucked out of for whatever reason?
Oh, dude, number one for me forever. I couldn't imagine ever being topped was Meshuggah reached out to us and like
Oh,
specifically invited us to go out on a European tour with them. And just like dates didn't align internally with with a couple of us.
oh,
And dude, that one, like Meshuggah for my money is the heaviest band on earth. Like that's a band that I could watch every night and just never get tired of it. They reached out to us like, "Yo, Will Haven, we'd love to take you out on tour,"
damn.
and we couldn't make it happen. And that's one that forever will like just leave a bad taste in my mouth. Like we could have
Oh.
seen Meshuggah every night for 4 straight weeks all over Europe. Rode down listening to Rational Gaze live night after night. Like, oh, dude,
That's
that
a
that one,
that's a
that's
dream
an
come
open
true.
wound.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fully.
that's
Like,
still bleeding. Yeah.
yeah, that wound may never heal. But yeah, that's number one that'll never be topped is saying
Oh,
thank you, but no thank you to Meshuggah. Ouch.
fuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I can feel the heartbreak on that one.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like we get a lot of offers for like festivals here and there or smaller tours where it's like, damn, that would be rad. But the Meshuggah European voyage that should have been, ooh, ouch. That one stings.
Damn.
Yeah, damn indeed.
Damn. Yeah, like I don't even I don't even know what to say after that. I feel like we just got to like take a moment of silence or something.
Yeah, RIP to that tour. There's nothing to say.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing like I mean I was literally gonna ask you, you know, like in a absolutely perfect world, like what is your dream tour to go out on? And well, it that there it is. That was
Realistically, that might be. I mean, if you were to say, all right, and then like obviously specifically taking into account like Will Haven, because I feel like that audience would have been rad to expose Will Haven to. I mean that's a whole. I mean they do. Meshuggah does really well in Europe, and that for an exposure perspective for Will Haven would have been enormous. I mean, realistically, handpicking an individual band, like it very well would probably be Meshuggah that I would handpick to go, yeah, let's do a tour with Meshuggah throughout Europe. Because I feel like that would have been one that like what kind of touring with Deftones did for Will Haven back in the day. I feel like Meshuggah would have been a multiplier because that's more closely like
yeah.
that niche of music where people would have been
Yeah.
just like, oh shit, like this band's fucking heavy. I like this.
Yeah. I could
We'll
totally see
see.
that. Yeah. No, we're putting it back out there in the ether. You know, hopefully
Yeah.
2026, Meshuggah hits you guys up again and they're like, fuck, let's do it.
From your mouth to God's ears, dude. We'll
Hell
see.
yeah. Let's everybody think about that. Let's get that going right now.
Manifesting it.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, kind of semi-related, but you know, for us gearheads out there and from one basis to another, what secrets can you bequeath to us about your setup and tone? Is there something you've got a little kernel of wisdom for
Uh,
us?
yeah, dude. So, and it's funny, it's not even like a whole lot of secret, but I swear I've tinkered with different heads, different pedals, all of it, and I swear the secret to a good, dirty, filthy, heavy bass tone is the Boss ODB2 pedal. Like that, just that
Okay.
overdrive, the ODB is just like the filthiest sounding pedal. I played through an orange, but like I've had an orange, I had an Ampeg head. I've tried different heads that all sound good. Like even the dark glass, I think sounds tight, but I feel like that ODB2 bass pedal is just like the perfect
Okay.
dirty, really heavy bass tone that like for my personal aesthetic and what I want to hear and just like a good growly bass, I've never played through
Yeah.
anything that even comes close. Like spread the word far and wide. No secret to be had there. But dude, that's like all the heads I've played a lot that sound good, but that pedal in particular is yet to have competition that even comes close. It's
Okay.
charm.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to check that out because right now what I've been using is I've got an Ampeg head that I've got a big muff that I've been
Oh
using.
yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, it's another classic. I mean,
that was
realistically, that
great.
tone you can't begrudge it one bit. Like that is the tone. You know what you're getting into with a big muff. But if you
Exactly.
haven't jammed through that Boss ODB, dude, give it a test run. I think you'll realize that there's a lot of simplicity and beauty in those few little knobs that are just gonna like give you just the nastiest bass tone you could ever hope for.
Okay. Hell yeah. No, like when you talk about like just having a few little knobs, I had this one amp one time that I got from a friend, and it was a Yamaha combo amp. It was like a 1x15 or something like that. And it only had four knobs on it.
Yeah.
Volume, bass, treble, mid. I mean, that was all you needed. And that thing was so old. I think it was from the late 80s or early 90s. And it sounded like it, but it just had that just nasty tone to it. But then the garage that it was in got broken into and it got stolen and I never saw it again. And it's a very sad
Aw.
story. Anyways, rest in peace, that Yamaha amp. Uh, my
Moment of
friend,
silence for it as well.
yeah, yeah. If the guy that lent it to me a million years ago is listening, sorry. I
We've all
sorry.
been there. It happens. What can you
L-
do? Life.
Yeah, yeah. Life happens. I mean, so much gear just goes missing. You know what I mean? Like, over the years, I mean, you're touring and jamming with people and you're practicing at this spot and things just disappear.
Dude, funny related story to that. So, God, this might have been the very last, the most recent Willhaven tour. So, Willhaven did, funny, you're talking about West Coast tours, like a short West Coast run of like 4 or 5 dates that I actually couldn't make. And it was for the 20, must have been the 25th anniversary or 20th anniversary of Carpe Diem.
Okay.
So I couldn't do it because it was the same week as Burning Man, which I won't miss. Like I planned my year around Burning Man. So, but because I couldn't make it, Mike, the original bassist who actually played on Carpe Diem, went out and played this tour with them. And when they were in, I think it was in Salt Lake City, they were packing up the stuff, and he was using at least one of my basses for that tour. And as they're packing that stuff up, he was like suddenly realized, like, "Shit, where's Adrian's bass? Like, it's nowhere to be found. Someone
Oh,
jacked my bass." So he was like, "God damn!" He was feeling all guilty because I let him borrow my bass, and someone made off with it. And they, I forget if they, no. So that must have been the last show of the tour because he shot me a text, and he's like, "Dude, I feel so bad. Your bass got stolen." He's like, "Let me know. Like, I'll pay for it. I just want." Like a couple of weeks later, one of the bands that they were touring with hit him up, and they're like, they sent him a picture like, "Hey, is this one of your basses? We think we might have taken this by accident." So it was actually
whoa.
the band had just packed it up. It was the same guitar case as the one of the this is what their bassist had. So they just swooped it unintentionally, but like hit him up and they're like, "Oh, hey, we found this bass with our gear." But he felt like horrible about it. He thought someone jacked my bass. I was letting him use it, but luckily I got it back and all was well that ends well. But he felt so bad, man.
That's that's incredible. That's
Yeah.
I
It's one
can't
thing to have your shit stolen, but to have someone else's shit stolen while you're using it, that's like another layer of like, oh God, I'm sorry, dude.
yeah. Yeah. No, I mean I know exactly what that's like because like I was saying about that amp is the garage it got stolen out of was my buddy's garage that we were practicing out of. And yeah, I know he felt real bad about that one.
It happens. No controlling it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no, I mean that's great that the other guys like had the well intention to, reach back out and be like, "Hey, like is this yours?" as opposed to just keeping it or selling
Yeah,
it. I
totally,
mean,
man. The world's full of scoundrels in the wrong hands. Like that would have just wound up like a new guitar for them or in a pawn shop or on Craigslist. Who knows, man? But cheers
oh
them for being
yeah.
honest.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we need more bands out there like that.
Right, no doubt, man.
Well, I mean, what's up next on the musical horizon for Willhaven? What's 2026 looking like for you guys?
Yeah, so I mean, kind of interestingly, for Willhaven and specifically in 2026, like I'd say Willhaven is on the shelf. I mean, possibly for 2026, but the Willhaven dudes, me, Jeff, Mitch, and Sean have a new project now, foreign film that we're working on that
Oh wow.
definitely is, yeah, birthed from the DNA of Willhaven, no doubt. It's kind of that dark, moody, atmospheric stuff, but less aggressive. And this is Jeff's first foray into singing, so
Awesome.
much different vibe. We actually our very first show as a band tomorrow night here in Sacramento. So
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
yeah,
Where are you guys playing?
it's a place called the Red Museum that we Willhaven's played before. Super cool spot downtown. So I'm stoked on the venue. We're playing with a couple of really good bands. Another band, newer, that we played with a few different times, and then this cool band, Ghost Marrow. But very first with the new band, Foreign Films. We have a couple of songs
Rad.
out, a couple of videos that we put out. But yeah, we're trying this. So Will Haven kind of put on the shelf for the moment, definitely still around, still a thing, but we're going to try this Foreign Film band out. It's totally different vibe generally. I mean, it's
Hell
dark,
yeah.
moody. I mean, it's funny. I have a lot of people that ask, like, how would you describe it? And it's kind of shoegazy, I guess, so, like just kind of like moody vocals and things, but also not. It's
Okay.
like a doom gaze, maybe I think would be. So it's got like the Will Haven doomy vibe to it. So it's rad. We've only been playing with this stuff for maybe like 6 months, maybe a little bit longer than that. But we've got a bunch of songs written. We record basically a whole album, but
Wow.
continue to write. And even since we recorded all that stuff, like the writing process has like evolved the band into this other kind of different world than where we were when we recorded that stuff. So like where
Wow.
it's going even compared to where it was is like this really interesting kind of additional bend to it that I'm excited to see where it develops. So I think 2026 for us is going to be the world of foreign film. And then if the right offer comes along, if Meshuggah comes knocking again, maybe we'll open up the Will Haven chest. But for now, we're diving into foreign film and seeing what we can do with this. I think it's not necessarily a goal of it, but I think just musically, it's a lot more accessible to a lot more people. I mean, Will
Okay.
Haven, as much as I love it, and like I'm a full metalhead and I love hardcore, all that, it's not for everybody. Versus foreign
Yeah.
film, it's a lot more, I would say, accessible. Like vocally, we're not going to be screaming at you. So I think it might attract more folks to come peep us out, which maybe will also bring them into the Will Haven world if they weren't before. So
Yeah. Yeah. I would think
foreign
so.
film. Yeah, that's the subtitle theme of 2026 for us is going to be foreign film.
Fuck yeah. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, you did mention a minute ago Burning Man.
Yes, sir.
So I've never been to Burning Man, and I don't know how many of the listeners out there in the ether have also been to Burning Man. I mean, if they're listening to this, I don't know if they're really, burners, as it were.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. I know a few people from my work that are, regular yearly, burners and everything. One of the guys has been going for, I think, 40 years every year or something like that.
Yeah.
Keeps trying to get me to go, but I haven't for whatever reason. But so what is it that keeps bringing you back to Burning Man? How long have you been going out there?
Yeah. So my first year was 2011, and I have not missed a single year since. I've gone every
Damn.
year. Yeah, every
Wow.
year. 14, 13 burns, whatever it is. Um, And I'll say, like, before I dive into it, like if ever you want to go, standing invitation to join my camp. I have a heavy metal theme camp that I bring out there. So
Oh,
it's like
fuck
very much like
yeah.
EDM out there is like the name of the game, where it's like you hear a lot of electronic music, but we crank metal. We serve heavy metal themed cocktails at our bar. Like it's
Oh, fuck
mobbed to a
yeah.
flame where like when you hear raining blood in a desert filled with techno, like it brings in a rad bunch of folks. But
Oh
as
man,
far as the
I'll totally take you up on that. I'm a bartender too.
oh,
Oh man. Oh,
I'll have to send you our
oh my
menu
God.
because it'll be an extra incentive. So we have, if I can remember off the top of my head, so we've got the vodka cranteras, the vodka cranberry. We've got the Motley
Oh, that's
Brew is
great.
just a beer. We've got the Raining Bloody Mary, Rage Against the Margarita. It's like a whole menu of heavy
Yes.
metal themed drinks. So, dude, truly standing invitation. Come join us because
Absolutely. I mean,
I
send
think
send
what
me send me that menu, and I will make some of those. I will try my own tweaks on them. I'll try to come up with my own.
yeah, dude, make it happen.
Oh
And
man, we can.
you would love it. Heavy metal happy hour every day from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
That's incredible.
7:06 for the layman if you can't translate the 666.
Yeah, 706 for the lame people out there.
But the why of it, like, dude, that place is otherworldly. Like, if you haven't been, like, you see pictures and you see art, you see the desert, you see whatever, but like being out there, it's just like this big, vast, like wild, beautiful place where it's just like very creative people. Like, I feel like it's super inconvenient to get there. It's a long ass drive through the
Yeah.
desert. It's kind of expensive. You have to bring all the shit you need for an entire week. So it's really inconvenient, which I feel like that aspect of it weeds out a lot of riffraff. So you only have people that like really want to be there and put the time and expenditures necessary to be there to get there. So I feel like that, like you just end up attracting people that put in the effort, and it ends
Yeah.
up being this like really eclectic mix of people that I feel like are kind of oddballs in a lot of cases, but it's also people that are like often kind of creative and like just interesting folks anyway. But then there's also a massive number of international people. So we've had neighbors from like
Wow.
every edge of the globe. We've had neighbors from Japan, from Germany, from England, from Spain, and then you bump into people all over the place from, I mean, truly everywhere. So the art's amazing. The interactions you have with people are really interesting, and it kind of like infuses this level of like just kind of like in the day by day afterwards, like where you just appreciate the immediacy of what you're doing, because it's like one of the things about it is like you pedal around. It's like miles and miles of open space in the desert where they build this really
Wow.
incredible art where it's like really just like beautiful stuff, but they burn it down at the end of the week. So if you weren't there to experience it, you're never going to see it again, because that incredible piece of art does not exist. It's ashes, and it like kind of like really kind of shifts your mindset to where you're like you appreciate being in the moment in life. Like it really
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
leaves an impact on a lot of folks that go out there and like learn to love it. So I encourage you. Like, I mean, truly, it's one of those things I'd love for everybody to go do at least once. But I think if you went, you'd just go, "Oh shit, I'll see you next year."
I
Do it,
kind
dude.
of
I would love to host you, man.
yeah, no, that'd be great. I mean, I kind of have a feeling that that's what would happen. I mean, I've been an avid camper my whole life. So I mean, in the closet right next to me, I've got everything I need to spend, I don't know, a couple of weeks out in the woods, or not the woods, but just oh man, that sounds fucking awesome.
Dude, you're the right mindset for it. Like you would get down on it, dude. I'm gonna send. I'll keep hitting you up. Like tickets will go on sale in probably like January. I don't know if your lady would have any interest in going, but we've got a camp that you would fucking dig, dude. It'd be rad to
Oh,
have you as a part of it.
she has always wanted to go to Burning Man too. She also grew up in Sacramento, but spent time living out in Denver, getting involved with, kind of like the Red Rocks community and stuff like that, which is somewhere in the ballpark of people that are into that are also burners and stuff. And, so she's always been in contact with that, but just never pulled the trigger herself either. And yeah,
See you
I
both
mean,
next year.
yeah,
See
I
you next
mean,
year.
if I'm, punk rock bowling was just canceled for next year. So if I'm not spending the money going out there,
Uh, I've got access to tickets, and I've got a rad heavy metal camp that you'd fit right into. I highly encourage you to link up with us next year. Block out. It's the week before Labor Day, the end of August. Block out your calendar. That week you've got plans, dude. Come join us in the desert.
that's
Come
that's when
swing
my birthday
cocktails with us.
is. That's a
Oh, dude,
yeah.
what's your birthday?
The 26th of August.
Fuck, it's
So,
gonna be during Burning Man. Let's celebrate your birthday in the desert
oh
next year,
my.
dude. We
Oh man, that
just
sounds
made
incredible.
plans
Yeah, I think we made a
to see
birthday
you out there,
plans. I think I might have to be finally be
dude.
initiated
No
as a
bullshit.
burner. No, I mean I will, like, as soon
I'll
as
be
we're done
there. If
here,
you're not
like,
there, it's your fault.
yeah, no, I mean my wife just got home. As soon as we're done here, I'm literally gonna go out there and be like, so we're gonna do this. I mean, I've got a Subaru. I can drive into the desert.
Oh, dude, you're built to drive into the desert. And dude, when you hear about the fucking journeys people take to fly in from like Israel into Burning Man, like just the journeys people take,
Wow.
it makes you appreciate that you take a drive up north at 395. It's a beautiful drive, and next thing you know, you're in the middle of the desert with a bunch of weirdos having the time of your life.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fucking good.
Well, I'll be there. If you're not there, it's on you, dude. Let's make it
Yeah,
happen.
no, seriously, like, yeah, yeah, it's on the calendar. Labor Day,
Nice.
birthday next year, Burning
I'd be
Man.
quite stoked to have you in camp next year, dude.
Fuck, now that's all I can think about. I was totally gonna go somewhere else with this, but I think we might just have to, be like Burning Man and just burn this down right at the end.
Yes, sir.
Oh man. Well, I think we covered it, everyone. I think we know exactly where to find Adrien next year, either doing foreign films or at Burning Man. Holy shit. Well, hot damn, everyone. That was one hell of a ride. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today and sharing some strange all about burning and fuck, that's literally all I can think about right now.
I like it.
Well, there you have it, folks. That was Adrien Contreras from Willhaven. It's been far too long, my dude.
It has indeed, man. Thank you so much for the invitation to come join. Look forward to doing it again some other time and doing it in August in the middle of the desert.
Yes, absolutely. Last thing, happy holidays, everyone out there. I hope you all have a most excellent time celebrating whatever holiday it is you choose to celebrate. Travel safe out there, and don't let your family get you too worked up. Well, stay tuned for more strange and unusual tales from tour. Thanks for listening to the Hesh Files. We'll catch you on the flip side.